I gotta be honest. I I did not want to do recap tonight, or matter of fact, any recap tonight, any game. After what happened tonight, it's 11:05 p.m. and I just, you know what? I'm going to do this as quickly as I possibly can to avoid any more mental health problems because of bullshit of the cruel sports world that I'm in, as well as ours. This video, I'll try not to make this as long as I normally do. And just a heads up, I'm gonna do 2 recaps tonight, and I'm gonna post the Heat recap tomorrow. And I hope you'll understand why I'm posting a recap for the Heat tomorrow and not tonight. After that game, I was livid. I was absolutely livid. As this game right here was bad enough, or wasn't bad enough. We had that. What happened with the Heat game tonight? All right. I'm not taking too long. I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. It's Sergei Bobrovsky going up against Marc-Andre Fleury, who is possibly retiring this season. And we're going to start off with a Florida face-off win, and then things got extracurricular after William Lockwood and this was accidental, you piece of garbage referees, it is absolutely soft. He accidentally interferes with Marc-Andre Fleury. He was trying to go after the punk, run into him, and then Zach Bogasen comes in and then fights William Lockwood. And for the rest of the game on, it's been an absolute shit show for the entire game. It's been a shit show. A bunch of fights broke. Not that I'm complaining, because who doesn't like a hockey game with a bunch of fights? Just saying. Now, William Lockwood gets called for a double penalty. He gets called for interference on Marc-Andre Fleury. That would wind up getting Minnesota a power play. And he also gets called for roughing against Zach Bogasen, which he also gets called for a roughing. That penalty for roughing would be served by Steven Lorenz. It would be a power play for Minnesota. And then off the tip in, Kaprizov scores on a tip in, assisted by Matt Boldy. That's his 14th assist. And Brock Faber with his 21st assist. 14th goal of the season. And power play goals are important when I talk to you about it. Then a little bit later on, they get called. William Lockwood and Brandon Duhaime gets called for fighting. They were both fighting each other. Lockwood gets knocked out. So Brandon Duhaime is a piece of shit, and Lockwood ends up going to the locker room. And I don't remember he wind up coming back for the rest of the game. Marcus Foligno gets called for boarding on Ekman Larson. That would be a power play for Florida, and that gets killed off. Then another fight broke loose. It's Jonas Gadrovich and Marcus Foligno, who gets called for a penalty earlier. They both get called for fighting. And then Brock Faber interferes with Ryan Lomberg. That would be a power play for Florida. That power play would be killed off, even though amounts of pressure build up for Florida. Didn't get anything. And then Stanley gets called for a trip on Marcus Rossi. That penalty would be killed off, though. Then Florida would still be under pressure, but Marc-Andre Fleury are saving pucks, and he's a legend goaltender. So we start with the second period with a goal. It's Aaron Ekblad off the snapshot. That's his second goal of the season, assisted by Matthew Tkachuk and Carter Verhaeghe. Tkachuk's 31st assist. I think that would be, I'm not sure if it's correct on this particular goal, but he will wind up going to his 100th assist, I think. 100th assist. And then Carter Verhaeghe, you know the drill. So then this is what happened. Ryan Hartman interferes with Sergei Bobrovsky, completely hits him, hinders. No call, and this is important when I tell you guys this. And then Sergei Bobrovsky retaliates and trips Ryan Hartman, and then that's a penalty. So then there'll be a scrums there. No penalty at all for Minnesota. Ryan Lomberg goes to the penalty box for Bobrovsky. And, what do you know? A piece of shit that hinders and interferes with Bobrovsky, didn't get any call, gets tripped by Bobrovsky. The same guy gets a goal off this last shot. Assisted by Alex Golingowski and Pat Maroon. That piece of shit from Tampa Bay. 11th assist of the season for Pat Maroon and Alex Golingowski. That's his assist. Slap shot. Hartman's 14th goal of the season. Great! And then another penalty by Florida. Nico Mikula gets called for high stick on Hartman. 1 minute later, another power play goal given up by Florida. This time it's Joel Eriksson Ek. 19th goal of the season off the tip-in, assisted by Brock Faber, his 22nd. That's his second assist of the game. And Matt Baldy, his 15th assist of the season. Absolutely awful penalty killing by Florida. And without Barkov, it makes it even more difficult. And guess what? Another penalty by frickin' Florida. This is slashing by Los Serenen. And guess what? Are you surprised when I tell you this? Matt Zuccarello gets a goal. 4 power play goals given up by frickin' Florida. 4! Zuccarello gets his 8th goal of the season off the wrist shot. Joel Eriksson Ek with his 14th assist. And Kaprizov with his 24th assist. It's now 4-1 Minnesota. Are you kidding me? So then Bobrovsky gets subbed off. Anthony Stolarz comes in, and then Marc-Andre Fleury ends up leaving the game. I don't know what happened with Andre Fleury. I hope he's all right. I don't know if it's because we subbed up Bobrovsky or whatever it is. Either way, that guy is a lost cause. He's gone. Anyway, with all kidding aside, I'm not even making anything better. I'm pissed. I am straight up pissed off. So then Gustafsson comes in for Minnesota, and then things just went bonkers. Ryan Lomberg and Dunheim, or however you say it, were talking. They were saying some shitty things to each other. So they both get called for unsportsmanlike conduct. They were both ready to brawl each other. They both go to the penalty box. The coach of the Minnesota Wild team did not like that decision to put Dunheim in the penalty box, so he gets called for an unsportsmanlike, and that one's being served by Zuccarello. Okay. And then another penalty in Minnesota. This is Zach Bolkasson with delay of the game. Puck went over the glass, and you hit a fan over the glass, you piece of shit. Puck over the glass. Another penalty by Minnesota. For a brief time, it would be a 5-on-3. It would be another full power play. A power play for Florida. Okay, so another power play that wound up being killed off. And with 18 and 27 into the second period, we have a goal. We have a backhand goal. It's Anton Lundell's 13th assist of the season and Aaron Ekblad's 9th assist of the season. Off the backhand, just gets it. And I think that might have been, that was the first one. It might have been this one. Off the backhand, Los Serenen. Rick, and it actually bounced off the stick. It might have been Fleury. But anyway, bounced off the stick. It's Los Serena with his 8th goal of the season. It's now 4-2 Minnesota. Okay. And then a penalty called by Aaron Ekblad. Elbowing gets Marcus Johansson. Johansson. And then Florida would be on a penalty kill again. Minnesota would be on a power play heading into the third period. And that penalty would be killed off. And then, but even still, after the penalty was killed off, Kaprizov gets a goal off the slap shot. It's now 5-2. It's now 5-2. Zuccarello gets 27th assist of the season, and Brock Faber, that's his third. 23rd assist of the season. I think this is a period where I went bonkers because of just horrible officiating that just happened. So after that, a few minutes later, we will have a goal. So we finally get one in off Philip Gustafson. It's Anton Lundell with the backhand. Aaron Ekblad's 10th assist and Reinhardt's 24th assist. So his point streak continues. It's now 5-3 Minnesota. And then 20 seconds after that, another goal. It's Aaron Ekblad's 11th assist. And off the slap shot, Forsling gets one. We are now down by 1. Great stuff. We're hot. So it's only a matter of time before we tie this thing up. Right? After the timeout, Minnesota goes on full defense mode. And there will be no penalties from here on out. Florida goes on this heavy pressure. They're actually doing everything right. And there were some moments where there were some interferences, high sticking, and especially high sticking, tripping. They get freaking tripped. They were getting tripped, Florida Panthers. They were getting tripped. And guess what? Even if they get hooked, they get tripped, interfered, whichever way you see in this game, not a freaking call for the Florida Panthers. Not a single one. Minnesota gets away with all the missed calls that the referees didn't make. They got away with it. So we didn't get a single power play in the third period. We did not. And we should have. We should have had 2 power plays at least. 2. But instead, we're left by ourselves. I'm not going to blame entirely on the referees because we stank. We stank without Barkov. And our penalty kill was awful. But my God, what's so obvious right in front of you, you have to make the call. And you don't. Did you know one of the referees from Minnesota? Not suspicious, right? Anyway, empty net for Florida. Solars goes on the bench. Florida almost ties the game up. Montour almost tied it up. Verhaeghe almost tied it up. Kachuk almost tied it up. Sam Reinhart almost tied it up. Lomberg. Reinhart especially hitting the crossbar. That should have went in. And off the face-off, Lossering would try to get a slap shot in, and he freaking misses it. Off the desperation shot, and guess who? The guy who interfered with Bobrovsky didn't even get a freaking call. Ends the game off the ricochet, off the wall, off the slap shot. It's Ryan Hartman with his empty net, 15th goal of the season. That's your hockey game. Florida had more shots. Florida had more hits. Minnesota had 1 more face-off win. Minnesota had 6 power play opportunities, and 5 of them? Oh, okay. No wonder why. So remember that 5th goal by Minnesota. So apparently that was a power play goal. I thought for a second that was kill it off, but no, it wasn't. That was still during the power play. So, okay, make that 5 power play. Make that 5 power play goals. Bottom line is this. Stay off the penalty box and also call a fair game. Power play percentages is 83.3 for Minnesota. Florida had 0. No shorthanded goals, however. Total penalties is 10 freaking penalties for Florida in 26 minutes of them. It's embarrassing. And they had 26 blocked shots, Minnesota. Embarrassing. You go from winning 9 straight games off the road, couple of games at home, and then go on this West Coast road trip with Arizona, Vegas, Colorado, St. Louis, going back home feeling good, and then beating LA. You're thinking, hey, this is going to be a good run. And then you lost to New Jersey. Okay, you're not going to win every game. All right, fine. New Jersey's great. Fine. And then you lose to Anaheim. And then you lose to Detroit. Both in overtimes when you freaking blew it. And then you lose this game 6-4. You went from having a great road trip, 9-game winning streak to 4-game losing streak, and you're having an awful homestand, going back on the road for 1 game to Nashville, heading into the game 4-game losing streak. I mean, what happened? How is this happening? How is this happening? And don't say, oh, without Barkov, we don't have a good penalty kill or anything, blah, blah, blah. No, they won games without freaking Barkov. They beat good teams without Barkov, so don't give me that excuse. I'm not hearing it. I am not hearing it. This is inexcusable against a struggling Minnesota Wild team. All right, stars of the game, Kirill Kaprizov, and Aaron Ekblad has 2 stars, and Joel Eriksson Ek with 3 stars. I am done with this game. This game was bad enough. And then the Heat game happened, and which I'm doing that tomorrow. I'm not risking any more anger than I already am frustrated with this. So, anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this one. If you have enjoyed this video, and definitely not the game, hit the like button, subscribe for content. Maybe. This is Miami TVG has you back, and when he does, he'll be right there with the entertainment you deserve. This is Miami TVG saying out, folks. Good night, everybody.